May I help you?
My name's Landon. We're Jehovah's Witnesses. Just making a door to go to your neighbors, and I would just like to share a encouraging scripture.
No, sir. I don't agree with your God, sir.
Alright, no worries. Have a good one.
Okay. Your God is the reason why black people are killing each other to this day, sir. And I think you're lying to your children, sir. You need to tell them the truth because your God is the reason why the world is coming to an end right now, sir. And I gotta tell you that. Okay? Hold on. Matter of fact, you see that flag right there? That flag represents Black America. That sword right there. Hold on. Let me break this down. That represents the blood that we shed in this country. Okay? You ever heard of the Gullahs? The Gullahs are the people who fought. They fought against white supremacy in this country, and we still fighting to this day. Yeah, that's our God. That bass, that black cat right there, that's another form of God. That's Egyptian. That's an ancient Kemetic God. I want to tell your kids that too. All right. I want y'all to put y'all on the ancient Egyptian gods. When y'all get older, I want y'all to research that. Find out who God really, really is. Because that God that y'all worshiping now, it's not it. Okay? Right. Y'all have a good day, sir.
Yeah, you too.
Okay? Yes, sir. Y'all have a nice day, sir.
So we worship the God.
Huh?
Who do you think made that bush?
I made that bush.
This bush? You made
Yeah.
this bush?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes. I am the creator. The black man is the creator of the universe. We are the first people on the planet. God made us first. Yes. Yeah. Charles Taze Russell, the guy who made your religion, he's the biggest white supremacist in the world. I did some research on that man. Yes, sir. He said all humans gonna turn white. And when I read that, I said, nope, I don't like this religion because that's represent your culture. That's your culture, sir. No disrespect to you. I'm pretty sure y'all some great people, but I can't agree with y'all God, and that's that.
Well, you have a good day.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate your sharing with us.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good day, man. All right. All right.
All right. Shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rahaka Kadash. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom to you, Akim and Aqua. Also, you children that believe on this word. Shalom to you. Shalom to the speckled bird that's scattered around the four corners of the globe. This is your brother Kalak Har coming back at you with another video. And this video today is it's just a response to this video I saw. The colonizers gonna learn. Well, so Jake got zeal, but not according to knowledge. So Jake had some Jehovah Witnesses come to his door, and they was trying to preach that Jehovah Witness message. We all know it. But immediately he told them he don't believe in it because their God is the reason why so-called black people are killing each other. He also went into the Gullahs, which are the Black Seminoles, that led a rebellion that pretty much stopped slavery in the southern states, pretty much, or went against the ways in the southern states of slavery. We'll read about it briefly. But he also went into that black flag, the flag of the Gullahs, how it's a sword. The red represents the blood that we shed. The cat on it, an Egyptian cat. And he wanted to tell the kids when they grow up, they're going to know about the Egyptian cat and Egyptian gods. But he also said the world is ending, but he wants them to grow up and learn about the Egyptian gods and all of that stuff. He also said, which is crazy, he said he made that bush. And I know what he's alluding to, that the so-called black man is the beginning and whatnot and all of that. And he's not, like I said, he got some zeal, but not according to knowledge. And Jake, if you have knowledge of what's going on, you should be out there teaching, not trying to expose Jehovah's Witness from coming to the door. That's not good enough. But we're gonna break down some of the things he said. And let's start off with what he said first. Was that their white God, their Jehovah's Witness God, is the reason why black people are killing each other. And that's just a false statement. If we go to, let's go to the scriptures. Deuteronomy 28. And 28 and look, the head, consequences of disobedience. So Deuteronomy 28 talks about the blessings and the curses. From Deuteronomy the first, Deuteronomy 28 and 1, it talks about the blessings and what will happen if we hearken unto the Lord. Deuteronomy 28 from 15 down talks about the curses that we're going to endure if we didn't. And we didn't and listen to the Lord. So he brought all these curses on us. Now, if we go to Deuteronomy 28 and 54, Deuteronomy 58:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. Stop right there. That goes into us hating each other. When so-called black men see each other, it's like a red flag comes up. Like, who is this brother? Or where he from? Or what he do, you know. It's almost like a, and even me, to this day, when I see other black men, I always throw up that question mark for some, not so much I hate them, but it's almost like a warning, warning. You know, when you see your brothers out there, it's almost like a warning, because we're under these curses, and that's one of his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. And that goes into us as, you know, black men as with kids, and how that stigma that follows them, they don't take care of their kids. I mean, there's countless of videos of where Jake will go on the web and say how he don't want to take care of his kids, how he don't need to, how he was just there for some ass, he wasn't there to make no kids, all things of that nature. You know, that's in the so-called black community that is known for so-called black men to not be there for their children, to be everywhere else but with the children, to hate his woman that he had children with, and he leave his children. He goes somewhere else. Same thing with, if we go to 56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground of her delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards her husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. Even me, back when I was younger, I used to think like, dang, did my mama hate me? You know, do she hate us for, because we used to go off, be bad, give her hell, you know, things of that nature, and we get a whooping, and you be thinking to yourself like, why are you beating me? Why are you doing this to me? Do you hate me? Well, it's because of the curses that's here in Deuteronomy 28 and 15 on down. So when a brother said that their God is the reason why we're killing each other, he is wrong on that. See, just like I said, Jake think because he know about Egyptian, what's that? The Kemet community, which that's false. We're gonna get into that a little bit too. Hopefully this lesson ain't too long. I'm gonna just try to make it short and get to the point and not do so much talking. But let's go back to what he's saying. Let's even play it.
I don't agree with your God, sir.
Alright, no worries. Have a good one.
Okay. Your God is the reason why black people are killing each other to this day, sir.
Okay, we just went over that in Deuteronomy 28:54.
And I think you're lying to your children, sir. You need to tell them the truth, because your God is the reason why the world is coming to an end right now, sir. And I gotta tell you that. Okay? Hold on. Matter of fact, you see that flag right there? That flag represents Black America. That flag
Black America. So let's look up that flag real quick. See if we can pull it up. Might have had it on. Wait a second. When the Gullah Geechee nation came into existence officially as another nation of the world of July 2nd, 2000, the citizens were able to stand beneath their own flag, which had been commissioned by Charlie Town of the Gullah Geechee People Foundation, which is based in the Goose Creek, South Carolina. Ooh. Dishya enen de Nutin Fahuna think de Tralonsko. I don't know what I read, but I tried to. The Gullah Geechee Nation flag embodies the following. And I'm not going to play the video. You can look up this yourself. So, like, I don't know what's going on. The flag meaning. The flag represents those sons and daughters of Africa, which were not African, forced to come to America enslaved in ships of pain for a life of servitude and of death. Well, that's part of the curses. Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even to the other, and thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. That wood and stone, that stone is Mecca. You Islamic, following Islam, I need to do a lesson on that. How the Arabs were part of one of the biggest slave trades. Like, they was longer than the European slave trade. The Arabs, and Jake will go to jail and get up and be Islamic and come out speaking that shit. Because our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Our people are foolish. They have not known their Lord. That's why this knowledge is so crucial, because you'll be doing this in front of the door and you look stupid because these videos like this one, it goes viral. And the brothers with the knowledge that knows, like, doing videos on you to correct you. More than likely, this man is not going to see this video, but he's teaching something that's false. We all been there before, but the Lord has woken to certain men that He want to wake up at the end of the day. Deuteronomy 6:8, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Egypt means bondage. If you go into the Zondervan compact dictionary here, I know y'all it's not in front of you right now, but let me see if I can pull up the definition of it real quick. Bear with me. Okay, Egypt in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It says country northeast of Africa, also called country of Ham, watered by the Nile, the longest river in the world, 4,000 miles, the annual overflow of which it is the greatest importance to the country because of the almost complete absence of rain. Country divided in Upper and Lower Egypt including the Delta area, Nile Valley, and Delta bounded by a desert called Mizraim by Israelites. That's who the son, Mizraim. If you go, we'll go to Genesis, the 10th chapter. ruler, ruler called Pharaoh, religion, uh, their religious gods, plot, plot, history begins 3000 BC, powerful empire in the Old Testament, granary of Roman Empire and culture center in New Testament times, held Israelites in bondage, held Israel in bondage for centuries until the appearance of Moses. So the Israelites was held bondage there. So Egypt is bondage. So if we read Deuteronomy 28 and 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, and the Lord shall bring thee into bondage again with ships. By the way thereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt say it no more again, and there you shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So Jake, you gotta wake up and get with the program.
Lying to your children, sir. That sword right there. Hold on, let me break this down. That represent the blue.
Let's try to find that flag. Because he said it represents Black America. We know that's not true. The state of Israel is Jerusalem. It's the city before us, the people. Here it is. This one. So, Black American merch. Look, if this the truth, why are you trying to sell it? Merchandise. That means if I go to blackamerican.com, price. The highest price. And then they got the Juneteenth flag. Well, you Negroes, man, sell everything that's not nailed down. You go to flag they selling. Black American Heritage flag. Which I get it. I get it that. And then it's really going into the Black Seminoles, which is really going into the Haitians. The Creole, because once you go into that history, Salakia, give me a second. Which one was it? The Gullahs are an African American ethnic group predominantly live in the lower country region of the U.S., South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, with the coastal plain and the sea islands. She look like somebody I know. The origins of the word Gullah can be traced back to Kakongo, language spoken in Congo River, which Central Africa, I forget the name of, but it goes back to Israel. Like, I forget the name of the word that's in Congo. I think it's Congo something, but it goes back to the Israelites at the end of the day. History. Talk about the West Coast of Africa, because remember, what is it? Luke, I want to say it's the 21st chapter. Bear with me. Things to come. Like the day will may come to pass in destination 9. Okay, yeah. Luke 21 and 20. This is Yahushua speaking of the downfall after Jerusalem falls. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation therefore is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee into the mountains. Where did they flee? They flee into the west coast of Africa. And let which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that was with child, and them that give suck, in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and they shall be led away captives into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Now, the Gentiles is talking about here. It's not talking about the Israelite foreigner Gentiles. It's talking about the heathen Gentiles. It don't really go into. You just got to know which Gentiles it's talking about, because the Gentiles are in the land right now. A bastard is an Ashdod right now. But until the Gentiles be fulfilled, look, they're going to be fulfilled when the Lord brings Armageddon. Because the wars are going to start over there in the so-called Holy Land. But that's a video for another time. So, like I said, I went over the history, a little bit of the Gullah people, which they had more. So, because they was talking about how they're Creole. And Levi got that in the spirit to go against Salakia. But another thing I want to bring out of the Low Country Gullah Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit. So look, 501c3, you belong to the government. You know different than a church out here today, spitting out his garbage. Because Jake, like I said, Jake wants you to think that we're Egyptian, when the scriptures are clear on why you should not follow Egypt. Let's go to Isaiah, the 31st chapter. We'll start at the first verse. And then we can get some more of this too. It says, help, the headline, help not in Egypt, but in God. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses. Now remember, Egypt is a place of bondage for the Israelites. We spent 430 years. Here, let's pull that out before we pull this out. Genesis the 15th and Genesis 15 and 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surely that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also the nation who they shall serve I will judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. Because when the Lord brought all those plagues on Egypt, and smited the pharaohs and everything, and killed the firstborns of Egypt, the Israelites crossed the Red Sea. Moses parted it. Israelites crossed it. And with them, they had a lot of abundance. They had gold. They had all types of stuff that they left with. That's why it says, and afterwards they shall come out with great substance. Now, because Jacob see this and say, oh, 400 years is up. 1619 to 2019 was 400 years. Your time is up. Blah, blah, blah. But this is talking about, it's actually 430 years that the Israelites were in Egypt, serving hardcore bondage. 430 years. Just as good as 400 years. But I just had to bring that out real quick. Let's go back to Isaiah, the 31st chapter. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because there are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. They look not unto the Holy One of Israel, seek the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. Yet he also is wise, and will bring evil and not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers, and against the help of them that work iniquity. Verse 3, now the Egyptians are men, not God, and their horses flesh, and not spirit. When the Lord will stretch out his hand, both he shall help, he that helped shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall fail together. So the Egyptians are not men, or the Egyptians are men, not God. The Egyptians are men, not God. And this brother is going on and saying that his flag. Hold on, let's see if we can.
Blood that we shed that sword right there. Hold on, let me break this down. That represents the blood that we shed in this country. Okay? You ever heard of the Gullahs?
Jake got the music in the background. You must learn. Come on, Jake.
The Gullahs are the people who fought. They fought against white supremacy in this country, and we still fighting to this day. Yeah, that's our God. That bass, that black cat right there, that represents.
Jake, listen to yourself. We was fighting white supremacy back then, and we still fighting it to this day. Like, when is it going to end, Jake? You'll be fighting forever. If it was your way, if you keep calling the Egyptian gods, you'll be fighting forever. You'll never see that day.
Another form of God. That's Egyptian. That's an ancient Kemetic God. I want to tell your kids that too. All right. I want y'all to put y'all on the ancient Egyptian gods. When y'all get older, I want y'all to research that. Find out who God really, really is. Because that God that y'all worshiping now.
Find out who God really, really is. Now, you said a cat. I think the cat name is Basset. Let's look it up real quick. And there was a couple more. Basset. I think I'm spelling that wrong. Egypt. Cat. Yeah. Let's go here. What? Get out of here. Basset. Phoenician was a goddess of the ancient Egyptian religion, worshipped as early as the Second Dynasty, 2890 BCE. Her name is also rendered as Ubase, and Basset is an ancient Greek religion. You get the point. You know what? Basset was the form of the name that was mostly commonly adopted by Egyptologists. Now, if we were to do this, let's do this right here. List of Egypt. So like if I'm taking a long time to bring this out, but hey, just for the elect at the end of the day. List of Egyptologists, and I put Evitologists. Evitologists. Oh, Robert Adams. I'm not gonna read all these names. We're gonna look. It's 47 more. I mean, do you see Jake anywhere in there? Look at all these Edomites. You got Arab. These are nothing but Edomites. Uh-oh. Who's that? British. Probably a tear. Controversial beliefs regarding witchcraft and the roots in ancient pagan. So she was a pagan. I better stop that shit, I'm telling you. But you see it. Nothing but Edomites. And one Jake looked like a Jake lady that was into paganism, so she probably was a tear. Meaning her dad was white. And I had a so-called black mama. But you have, that's where you have it. You have it right there. So Jake, I don't know what Jake think he got knowledge from. Because a lot of you Jakes think you're Egyptian. You're not Egyptian. The Lord destroyed that place.
It's not it. Okay?
All right.
Y'all have a good day, sir.
Yeah, you too.
Okay? Yes, sir. Y'all have a nice day, sir.
So we worship the God.
Huh?
Who do you think made that bush?
I made that bush.
This bush? You made
Yeah.
this bush?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes. Yeah.
Jake said he made the bush. Okay, Jake. Like I said, zeal, but not according to knowledge. As Genesis 1 and 11, and God, Elohim, said, let the earth bring forth grass and the herb yielding seed and the fruit trees yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and a tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself and his kind. And Elohim says God, but Elohim saw that it was good. It means plural, gods, angels, multiple. That's how you know that that's Yahweh and the angels making everything, as you see. And the evening and the morning were the third day. So, Jake, what are you talking about? You made it. You didn't make shit, Jake. Jake, yes, Jake gone, man. Jake gone.
The black man is the creator of the universe. We are the first people on the planet. God made us first. Yes. Yep. Charles.
God made us first. He made the Adamites, which was the people from the ground. That's who he made.
Has Russell.
And then he put a curse of leprosy. Basically, Jacob goes back to Jacob and Esau coming out of the womb. Jacob being hairy all over, red like a garment, his blood showing through his skin. That's why he called Esau Edom today. That's why you call it regnant down in the south. Like, Jake has no knowledge of what's really going on. And then I think the Kemet community believes that their God jacked off and bust everything into existence. Like, pow! There go the Earth, there go the moon, the planet, all of that stuff. Like, come on, man. This is what we're dealing with today, and it's vexing. It's vexing at the end of the day. It's how people are going off, and like it says in the scriptures. 22, for my people are foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. It was at I think it's Romans 10 and 2, I think. Zeal. Yeah, Romans 10 and 2. And I read the first verse. Brethren, my heart desire and prayers to the Most High, for Israel is, that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. How are you going to rope in we the creators of everything, and then you are into Egyptology and the Kemet community and things of that nature, and that flag? And look, I get it about the rebellion that we did and went against the Edomites and the French and the Spanish and all of that stuff. I get it. And that to this day. Now, you think you're going to band up and go against Esau today? Now, he did mention, hold on. We almost out.
The guy who made your religion, he's the biggest white supremacist in the world. I did some research on that man. Yes, sir. He said all humans gonna turn white. And when I read that, I said, nope, I don't like this religion, because that's represent your culture. That's your culture, sir. And no disrespect to you. I'm pretty sure y'all some great people, but I can't agree with y'all God, and that's that.
Well, you have a good day.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate your sharing with us.
Yes.
He's talking about is this Charles Russell, Taze Russell. Let's read this. It is generally believed that the curse which Noah pronounced upon Canaan was the origin of the black race. Certain That is that when Noah said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of the servants shall be unto his brethren, he pictured the future of the colored race. They have been and are a race of servants, but now in the dawn of the 20th century, we are all coming to see the matter of service in its true light and find that the only real joy in life is serving others, not bossing them. There is no servant in the world as good as the colored servant, and the joy of that he gets from rendering faithful service to one of the purest joys that is in the world. This is from this Edomite. That's what this Edomite said, man. Now let's break this down a little bit. Now it says, it says Noah pronounced upon Canaan. That was the origins of the black race. Now let's break this down real quick. Bear with me now. Genesis 9, I think around the 20th verse. Okay, yeah, Genesis 9 and 20. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard and he drank wine. He drank of the wine and was drunken. So hey, that's what, hey, brothers, if you're not drinking wine, I mean, some people don't, but hey, the favorite tree of the Heavenly Father is a grape, is a grape tree that produces wine. So if you're not into, no, brother, I don't like to drink, I don't like to do that, but if you say who you are, you'll probably be drinking a little bit of wine here and there. And he drank of wine and was drunken. Because you got other religions, oh, we can't drink, we can't do that. What are you talking about? And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. So Noah had some wine, he was drunk, he fell asleep, and he was uncovered, he was naked. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. So, just a little backstory. Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And Shem and Japheth, verse 23. Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon their shoulders and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward. And they saw not their father's nakedness, because that's a sin to uncovering your father's or your mother's nakedness. There's a sin to do that, to look upon your father's and your mother's nakedness. Like if you say your mom is taking a shower, and you know she's taking a shower, and you bust open in there anyways and open it, hey mom, I got a question. Can you help me out with this? Like, and you're looking at her naked and asking her a question. Same with your father. Or your mom's getting dressed and you just walk in the room while she's getting dressed, and you don't immediately try to cover your face. You don't try to like, oh man, I'm sorry. You just sit there and watch her and look at her like a damn fool. That's a curse. So verse 24, and Noah woke up from his wine and knew his younger son had done it to him. And here's the point. He said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants, shall be unto his brethren. Now, let's get something real quick. Let's go to, bear with me. First let's get this one. Ham, remember I said Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born in probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8th persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites. Wait, what? Not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and the Canaanites. He indice when his father lay drunk and brought a curse upon Canaan. So what is this man talking about? It's generally believed that the curse which Noah pronounced on Canaan was the origin of the black race. But the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, which a so-called white man has put together, saying that Ham is not from, the Canaanites are African. Egyptians are African, not the Negroes. So what is Jake talking about? That's what I'm saying. That's why our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Our people are destroyed because they do stuff like this. Now, does it goes off a little bit. Now, Canaanites. Canaan was the son of Ham in the genealogical list in Genesis 9 and 10. His descendants occupied Canaan and took their name from the country. Canaan was one of the oldest names of the Palestine, the land of the Canaanites dispossessed by the Israelites. The etymology of the name is unknown, as also the earlier history of the name, but the Egyptians' inscriptions of circa 1800 BC used it for the coastline between Egypt and Asia Minor. The Canaanites were of Semitic stock, which there wasn't. That's going off, and they were part of a large migration of Semites, Phoenicians, Amorites, Canaanites. So these are all heathen nations. These is not Israelites. From northeast Arabia in the 3rd millennium BC that came under Egyptian control circa 1500 BC. The Israelites were never able to completely to exterminate them. And it wasn't, this is going off on the definition a little bit, so don't even just eat the meat, spit out the bones. But, yeah. So, yeah, back to, this Charles guy. Same shit. The letter V didn't come until 1,000 years ago. Let's see if we can. When did the first distinction between the letters U and V is recorded in Gothic script of the 1386. By the 1500s, the V was used to represent it was not accepted in the distant letters until many years later. So we're talking about 1386 or so. We're in the year 2023. So less than 1,000 years ago. Let's do the math real quick. So we're looking at 600 years ago. Just like it didn't come to 500 years ago. So yeah, get with the program. Heavenly Father can't be named Jehovah. And then they got a Yehovah that's in the Bible. So, did I miss anything? Well, kind of with the Gullah and how they're Creole. They're Creole people, meaning they're of Levi, the black Seminoles that revolted and ended slavery, so to speak, in the South. Earlier. The Gullahs, rice. Black Seminoles Gullahs who escaped from slavery. The Black Seminoles are a small offshoot of the Gullahs who escaped from the rice plantation in South Carolina and Georgia and built their own settlements on the Florida frontier, fought a series of wars, preserved their freedoms, and were scattered across North America. They have played a significant role in American history, but have not received recognition. They deserved. Some Gullah slaves managed to escape to the coast of South Carolina, Georgia, south into Florida Peninsula. 18th century, Florida has a vast tropical wilderness covered with jungles and malaria-ridden swamps. Spanish claimed Florida, but they used it only as a buffer between British colonies and their own settled territories. Further south, they wanted to keep Florida as a dangerous wilderness frontier, so they offered a refuge to escaped slaves and renegade Indians from neighboring South Carolina and Georgia. The Gullahs will establish their own free settlements in Florida wilderness. By at least the 1700s, they built separate villages that thatched roof houses surrounded by fields of corn and swamp rice. They maintained friendly relations with the mixed population of refuge Indians. In the time, the two groups came to view themselves as part of the same loosely organized tribes in which blacks held important positions of leadership. The Gullahs adopted Indian clothing, while the Indians acquired a taste of rice and an appreciation for Gullah music and folklore. So, look, I'll read down here. The Americans called the Florida Indians Seminoles, from the Spanish word "camarion," meaning wild and untamed. They are called the runaway Gullah Seminole Negroes or Indian Negroes. Modern historians have called these free Gullah frontiermen the Black Seminoles. So, some history, you can go look it up yourself and get into it. They got that name Andrew Jackson. But you can read more into this about the Gullahs and how they, escaped slavery, or they stood up and said, "We're not doing this no more." And that goes back to the tribe of Reuben. The Reubenites, that's the Florida, Indian Seminoles, the Seminole Indians, the tribe of Reuben, that's down in the Floridas. So, with that said, I want to give all honor, glory, praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah. I hope this was edifying and it was straight to the point. I know it went on for a little minute, but we got what we needed to get, and hopefully you got it too. So, Shalom. Hope to see you on the next video, Lord willing. Shalom.